It's true.
Welcome, everybody.
It is the real estate revolution.
Woo!
My coffee is awesome this morning. I'm excited. We got Speedy up here.
We do.
Keeping us company. And it is April 20th.
420.
Oh, gosh. We're going to pretend he didn't say that. And if you would please all turn off your cell phones. I'm not going to say anyone in particular this time.
What 420 means? If that's your credit score, you got to start working on stuff.
So, I could see a good meme about getting your credit.
Posted.
Oh, is it not?
I posted it this morning.
Oh, you're so good. You're so good. Well, and remember, our culture, not speaking of 420, our culture is super important. We've kind of made it this month's focus. And and it's always our focus, really. I mean, literally, I remember Mo Anderson saying that it's literally the #1 thing that people have joined us for.
So each team meeting in April, we're walking through the MVVBP just to remind everybody of what we're here for. So you saw our mission.
Yep.
Our vision. Oops.
I kept going. Mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective. Obviously, our beliefs up here, MVVB beliefs, and we're not going to go through them again because we went through them last week.
And the goal is to get these in everybody's mind everywhere.
We want your company, your brand, your I don't even know what you call it, but your organization as a realtor should have a mission and a vision for where you're going and what it looks like as on the way.
Go back real quick to the Y4C2Ts.
Oh yeah, I will.
If nothing else,
both.
Have this up somewhere in your office or on a notebook or somewhere.
Or in your listing presentation. It's in ours.
What I tell people that are new, I say, what's important is what's not on here. It does not say our goal is to beat the other team down, to be dog eat dog.
To win no matter what.
Yes. So, but this is the way we try to approach everything. And I think you see that coming through, especially on Facebook the last couple of days. It's been kind of interesting to see the change. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so let's continue on. Oh, that we see ourselves as obviously a true technology company that creates the platform for you to run and grow your business as big as you want it to be.
So we're almost to the end of April. Can you believe it?
Yes, I can, because it's the 20th.
Yes. That's the way math works.
But we have some very, very important classes this week, though, Mike.
Okay, so if you're a newer agent, you need to just block out tomorrow.
Yes.
Because you start the day with a class on buyer consultations, and then every agent actually at 1 o'clock contracts with Jim Bolin because the contract changed again last night. So if you're not aware of that, there's some changes, and Jim's going to talk about those.
Jim is going to talk about it some.
But a couple other things on here. We'll go to the next screen.
Well, and ALC meeting.
Yep.
You mean like there's a group of the top agents in our office that help us as leadership make great decisions about what our office needs?
You mean the broker owner doesn't make all the decisions, so we just have to live by it?
You mean like a dictatorship?
Yes.
Nope, not us.
All right.
All right. And upcoming events and important dates to know.
Yes.
We have the ALC meeting, like I said, 9 a.m. on Thursday.
So ALC meeting is like the group that makes decisions.
That's right.
Other people can come attend, but you've got to sit in the gallery. It's kind of like a city council meeting.
That's right. So you're watching the city council make their rulings and decisions.
You aren't popping up and objecting to stuff and that kind
I
of thing.
disagree. No,
you can't handle the truth. Okay.
That was intense, Mike. Did you just see that? Wow. Okay. So
hold on. I should have had these on.
Oh.
You can't handle the truth. Okay.
Is that the way he does it with glasses? Oh, okay.
But glasses give you more dramatic effect.
It does. Well, it did.
Yes.
Dude, that was an aggressive motion. Good morning. All right. KWGS SGF Awards Party. Wait.
We'll talk about that some. Awards.
Oh my gosh.
You mean like realtors try to be competitive and try and win and do better?
That does not sound real.
No,
I don't think so. Cinco de Mayo, though.
Wait, you mean realtors like to drink?
May 5th. KW Partio.
What is the Partio?
There's people that don't know what the Partio is.
I think, doesn't it even have its own Facebook page?
It do.
Okay, the Partio in the back here.
Yes.
Not behind that camera, but behind the building.
That way.
Is the Party Patio. Thus named Partio by Don Klepper. And it's going to get a little upgrade here soon. We're not going to tell you what.
Oh, I was about to say it. I'm so glad I did.
Time for our Cinco de Mayo, which is ironically on May 5th.
How about that?
Yeah.
Red Day, May 13th.
Which is Mo Anderson's birthday, correct?
Well, it's celebrating Mo Anderson's birthday.
I thought it was her birthday.
I think it's the 10th, but we're going to not go there.
She's 84 this year.
Isn't that amazing?
That's what they said.
84, and she's rocking it.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, so what if you want to do the Cinco de Mayo? You got to register.
There's a link.
Yes. On the Facebook page, there's an event. So go in and put going. Just don't put interested, put going and just plan on it. Put it on your calendar.
I just remember that show that said, You are the weakest link. What was that show?
The weakest link.
Are you for real?
Tim, you are the weakest link.
I apparently. No, really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is super important. And I love that Mike put this on our slide today. So in a serious moment, we want to kind of know how you're doing. This market is brutal.
It's yeah.
And you know, it's been mentally and emotionally exhausting. Oh, you've been in the woods?
No, just Campbell Street.
Oh, uh-huh.
You know, and the other thing on this with COVID, we didn't have vacations for the last 13 months.
That's right.
Everybody is running on empty right now.
Right. Yeah. Just the emotional stress of not being able to find your people what they need. And those buyers don't let up. I mean, they just really are like, how come you're not sending me anything?
Well,
Why is there nothing new?
But everybody's at a point of desperation.
It's true.
So,
and so you are, if you are needing someone to talk to, and or if you're wanting to kind of talk about new strategies,
or just need a listening ear, talk to anybody on the leadership team. We'll visit with you. We'll take you out to coffee. I won't drink coffee. I'll watch you drink it.
He'll drink his Mountain Dew.
That's right. But this is an emotional, exhausting time, and we want everybody to know, and I'm looking at the cameras too, we're here to kind of help you and just kind of make you realize you're not alone on it.
No, and it's not just here. It's everywhere that this is being experienced right now. So
I do love what happened on our the Springfield Realtors Facebook page the last couple days. Any of you that haven't seen that, several people said, I'm tired of seeing the negative, so I'm going to say something good somebody's done. And they've listed all the different great agents they've worked with. And I think we could be at a point where we turn and we start pouring into each other
and recognizing that.
Yeah.
No, I think that's absolutely
but
great.
we are here if you need us, and please, that's why we're here.
Yeah. And that's part of our culture is to be able to be that listening ear, even for each other. There are so many great agents in our office, Mike, that I hear about or I see. And that's why that culture award is so important.
Correct.
Every week is recognizing when those great things are being done. But we have an award for also learning and pushing through the hard times.
The best award is pizza.
I think you're right. And so we've got April's book, which is The Infinite Game,
which is a great read. And up on the wall, we've started putting the what do you call it? The laminates of all the different books. I'm a little behind on who read what. So if I've missed you, let me know and I'll get your name up there with a little sticker.
Yeah. And honestly, it's not too late to join, is it?
No.
If you're a fast reader, you can catch up.
If you've not learned yet, it's too late. We don't want you learning anything. So, join in, get on these books. If you read 10 of the 12, you're going to get free pizza by the end of the year.
That's right. I mean, everybody loves free pizza. And wait, we have vendors?
We do.
We have vendors that like align with us and make great decisions, and we like working with them.
Are there any online?
Ooh,
Patty's here from Morass Inspections.
Wow, she's so on it. Good job, Patty.
Everybody in here looks down the hall as we turn to the
I know, we all look down there. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, anybody online?
Casey Cooper is.
Here I am.
Casey.
Not a lot going on in the mortgage industry right now. Still kind of rates are teeter-tottering, kind of hinting towards raising a little bit. So we're just kind of waiting to hold tight to see that. And I guess the one big thing, USDA, they're keeping their turn times down to a minimum. They're only on, they're working on files that were submitted to them on the 15th of April. So they're only 5 days behind, which is better than 15 days they were last year.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that what it was?
Yes, you do need to work on your credit score if it is a 420, by the way.
Exactly.
That's a lot of work going on. How often are you helping people recoup their and or recover their credit scores, Casey?
I would honestly say it's about 30% to 20% of my applications.
Yeah. And then do you guys ever leverage that out? Do you have a great referral partner to when it's, extraneous circumstances?
Yeah. If it's something that I look at and I'm like, okay, you're way past my abilities. There's a company called the Credit Law Center up in Lee Summit by Kansas City. And they actually do more. They don't help you negotiate credit with creditors. They actually use legal ways to do it. So they'll send a letter to a creditor and say, hey, you take this off our credit report or we're going to court because you're reporting it wrong. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, creditors are going to do that. They're not going to go to court over $500. So they remove it off the credit report. And what's great about that is it doesn't show any more late payments. The whole line is gone. So I've had some of my clients see their scores go from like 505s in 30 to 60 days go up to a 640 because they're just deleting things off of there. So
yeah. No,
I work hand in
totally
hand with
understand.
them.
Well, and I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever had somebody come in and look at your situation where you can find things that are affecting your credit that you never knew were there, or even fraudulent activities that our clients have, experienced where they're like, I didn't buy that. I don't know what that is. Where's that coming from? And it's like a major tick on their credit.
So they find out their wife did it.
Ah.
Hey, Casey, Mark Stewart has a question for you real quick.
Hey,
Okay.
Casey. This actually works because someone told me about Credit Law Center about 12 years ago. And you always hear about those bogus credit companies or whatever, and they take your money, you never get anything out of it. Well, man, I went through them and probably improved my credit scores anywhere from 80 to 100 points. Wow. I mean, I went from getting turned down for credit cards to getting pre-selected for gold cards. Just like, wow, this is awesome. I think I spent $500 or $600 to get some of the erroneous information taken off, but it works. So wow, I would definitely recommend them.
And they do basically only charge you for what they fix. They don't ask for $1,000 up front. I think they do set you up on some kind of credit watch that's $100 for the year, but then after that, they only charge you for what they can fix. So they've done wonders for a lot of my clients.
So Tim, you're saying a loan officer doesn't just get loans, they help people through a process?
That is amazing.
Wow.
They really do that. And that is why we love having a great vendor program like what Casey does. So awesome.
Any other vendors?
All right. We're going to welcome up our awesome, amazing, spectacular Jim Bolin.
Turned his mic off.
Oh, did you really? Oh, no.
I like to save batteries.
I think that's on.
Hey, Jim, are there any changes?
Good morning, everybody. It's the first thing that I like to see every day is changes in contracts without notification to the broker or the agents. But, there's a few things I want to cover real quick. I won't try to bore you. I will suggest that if you haven't got your vaccination, you're up to that, go get it, because if we get to 50%,
they can't hear you. Hold on here. I'm going to give you my mic.
All right, back to one thing I was saying that had anything to do with contracts. If you're going to get a vaccination, get one, because if we get to 50%, I can quit wearing my mask in the building. I'm just trying to be nice to everybody. So do that, please. We have contract changes. They came in last night. I didn't get them from this board. I got them from a different board. So if you look at the residential sales contract, if you're online somewhere and you want to look at it, first of all, don't forget about lines 25 and 26 regarding earnest money, because they switched that from 10 to 5. I don't know what genius at the state decided to do that. It's difficult to deal with sometimes, especially because there's not anybody but old people that use their checkbook on a regular basis. So a lot of times they go home, they forget about it, they go to work. So you can't change that. It defaults to 5 days. You could put it back to the 10. Then, if you look at the second page of the contract, they've made a change to the contract regarding the sale contingency. And that used to be on the back. They've moved it up to lines 50, 51, and 52. And it says, this contract is not contingent, or this contract is contingent. And if it is, you need to use the appropriate rider. So you check the box first, which alerts the agents or the parties to the contract what's going on. And then on the back page, you go in and check that box again and say, here's the rider, and then you fill out the rider. If you don't do that, if you'll go on down to line 84, it says, if the buyer does not attach either MSC 2021R or blah, blah, then buyer's inability to obtain a loan due to the failure of the sale and or closing of another property of buyers will not constitute proper grounds to exercise this contingency, meaning that they would still be responsible for the purchase of the home.
Can I throw in why that was put there? There were some desperate buyers who were saying, I do need to sell my house, but I'm not going to mark that. I'm going to get the contract and then do it. So this is because some desperation was going on statewide.
It's there, so use it appropriately is all I'm going to suggest. Yes, sir. Mark Stewart. Yes.
Yes, so it's in 2 locations.
Mark's question
now.
was, is it on 2 locations in the contract? And yes, it is. They moved it up to page 2, which it probably in this market's a good idea. Get it right in front of everybody. But don't forget that there are still things that apply there. I didn't mark it, but if you look at line 71 on the contract, I know you guys don't have it in front of you, but you should look at that. Often we have buyers who buy that's not contingent upon financing. It says, although not a condition of performance, buyer may finance any portion of the purchase price. And then there's a second box they've added on line 72, which checks and says, pre-approval letter, proof of funds sufficient to complete the closing is attached. Now, if you're buying for cash, most people want that. They want to see that you're approved. So there's a box there that now you can attach this proof of funds, and it becomes a part of the contract by checking that box. All right, and then the next one, which is interesting on line 109, if you look at that, it has to do with the title commitment, and it talks about a review period in there on line 110. It says this may be blah, 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 the review period. Well, that wasn't really significant before, unless there was maybe a title issue and you wanted to protect your client. But now it also it refers to, on the next page, on line 126, survey or title commitment for which buyers do not timely deliver a notice of objection shall be deemed waived, and together with all laws and zoning ordinances, unless MSC 2060R, which is a subdivision review rider. Pretty exciting news, huh? Well, and Mike said to me earlier, said, well, that's already in the contract under the data period. No, not really. This one is specific, and if I can find it here. For those of you at home, here it is. Shoot a picture. Called the subdivision review rider, and it says buyer has blank number of days after the effective period stated until expiration of the review period to deliver notice to seller of any objections which buyer has thereto. And it's about subdivision indentures, covenants, declarations, restrictions, subdivision homeowner association bylaws, rules and regulations, financial insurance information for the subdivision which the property is a part. So it's another one of those, hey, I can terminate the contract type of deal. So be aware of that it can extend through the entire review period, which could be as the term of the contract.
But they'd have to attach this.
They'd have to attach that. They'd have to mark the review period to be the term of the contract. No. Yeah.
That does not.
The
align with
property
the review
data
period.
period is now on line 142, and that's the one that's called the buyer remorse paragraph. So if the buyer puts, 5 days in there, he's got 5 days to wake up with a headache and cancel the contract. This is totally, this is separate now and goes along with the title commitment and with that review period, however long that is. So could that be longer than 5 days? Could it be the term of the contract? So I just want to make you aware of it and suggest that you review these forms, which are available at the MR website, which is MissouriRealtors.org, I believe. I sent a note to the staff asking them to update these in command, I guess it is, right? All right, so much exciting news. Aren't you glad I'm here?
Yes.
But the property data period does remain on line 142, so don't forget about that one also. And then, cheat sheet here. Let's see.
Okay, but while he's looking through this, you realize most other companies in town are not getting this information yet.
That's right.
They probably won't for another week. So we're proactive to get this information to you all ahead of time.
Yeah, and I get to be the deliverer. So it's such happy news. Again, don't forget, if you do attach a rider of any time, whether it's a review rider or a financing rider, then you've got to go to 392 paragraph 21 and make that rider, mark the box there. And if it's not one of those that's included, then you need to mark the box and then write the MSC 2021 or 2022 or whatever it might be. And then the other thing they've done with the contract itself is to move the signatures for the broker, where it used to all be on page 7. Now it starts on page 7 and then ends on page 8. So don't think just because you've done the first part that you don't need to continue the rest. I'd also make a suggestion to you. You're writing an offer as a buyer's agent. You have all your information, the broker ID and your ID, your license number and all that, right? You could also enter in the other company's broker license number and the agent's license number because it's on their listing. I just think that's really a blessing, because then it comes back in compliance 45 days later. You don't have it.
Clarification.
And you've got to go get it.
You can even mark right from the listing whether they're a designated agent or not. It will
Correct.
tell you.
Yep.
So you
It
can
says
fill
right
out.
there.
All right. And then love letters. We've talked about this a little bit last week. In 24 years or so, whatever number it is now that I've been working, I've had one. It didn't work, but that's not important. What's important is that now, because of our market, love letters now, there's a real concern that it's a fair housing issue. And I could see how it could be.
Absolutely.
A love letter could be a fair housing issue. And if you include a picture, it could certainly be a fair housing issue. And I think you have to be concerned with that. And the Missouri Realtors Group has a fair housing guide. It's on their site, and it says love letters accompanying offers, legal risk, and potential for unconscious or implicit bias. I really think you should look at those. And if your buyer wants to write one, then you should hand them physically the form. Maybe you should even have them initial it as a protection.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then also, don't forget it is Fair Housing Month. You know that, right? So you should review the protected classes. And I know all of you have just gone through your CE in the last period or so, and you know them and you could recite them, but we don't have time. So I would suggest that you review those again, the protected classes. And then if you get a chance, write this down or type it into your phone or ignore it. If you go to fairhaven.realtor on the NAR site, there is a cool fair housing simulation that says it takes 60 to an hour and 20 minutes. And I did it in 40 this morning. And it's really cool. It takes you through scenarios, step by step. You know, you're introducing this couple, or you recommend an agent and all of that. But I went through. And if you complete it, you get a fair housing
You get an award.
recognition of completion.
Now, do you get reduced dues because of that?
I don't know.
Oh, that would be cool. No,
I
I'm just
thought it was
kidding.
pretty cool though when I got a certificate. Because I'm going to put that up in the office and nobody can ever accuse me of anything.
You have
know.
a certificate.
It's fair. Well, it's a NAR site, but it's Fairhaven, FARHAVEN.realtor. And it is really a cool little deal to go through. And you'll see some obvious, they give you obvious, not, I wouldn't say obvious, but there's examples of bias and examples of violations of fair housing from the client side, from the realtor side. There's some video. It asks you questions that you have to answer. And if you don't get them correct, they don't X you out. They just let you go ahead and try again. So not that I got any of them wrong, just
Of course not.
I was doing it. So if you have any questions, don't forget about the new changes to the contract or to any of the new writers. Make sure you call Don Klepper.
I'm gonna put it right up
There we go.
I
Okay, so
like it.
I
Wow.
want
Thank
to
you,
say
Jim.
something real quick. This is why team meetings are so important, those you hear and online, because we're giving you current information. And I'd recommend anybody, if you're out there in internet world or here, come to the calendar's not here anymore. The 1 o'clock class, Jim's going through the contracts, and one he didn't have a chance to get to, but on the listing agreement, the MAR one now, it says on there, seller will accept love letters, seller will not. So there's, yeah. So that one, I tagged it in Facebook last night after all the drama I stirred up. So, but those are all there.
Chance to do that.
I
Don't
do.
be dismayed by our or
I try to be helpful, and it goes the wrong way on me
hold on. We have a
sometimes.
question here for Mark here.
I'll look importantly while he's asking.
So when we're going against multiple offers and we're representing the buyer, and then we ask the listing agent, can you disclose what the other offers are? And the sellers say they can either check no, they cannot disclose, or yes, they can disclose. Does that give that agent the right to disclose the price of those other offers, or just that there are other offers?
Check both boxes. There's 2 boxes on the employment agreement on the bottom of the first page. It says, I can disclose existing offers. And then the next box is I can disclose terms and conditions. So I think the deal is now mature agents in this market, I've asked them questions and they've gone like, I can't tell you that. Well, if you check the boxes on the contract, yes, you can. Now the key to it, the buyer's agent has to ask the right questions.
Absolutely.
Well, do you have another offer? Yes. Can you tell me the terms and conditions? So because just because they're offering full price on the $150,000 house, they may have $7,000 in concessions and they may be closing June 5th. And so if they will give you the terms and conditions, then you could make your offer a better offer if the boxes are checked on the contract. Now, on the employment agreement. There's 2 boxes, bottom of the first page.
I think we got not much time, but go ahead.
Clarification on that, just a question. If, that's checked, and a lot of times when I'm talking to my sellers, I'm like, here's what this means. And I may check that I can disclose it. But I'm not going to unless we're in a situation where I need to and go back and talk with those. So even if as agents, if we select that we can, doesn't mean we have to.
Buyer's agent I believe the buyer's agent has to ask the right questions.
That's right.
And why is that there? And NAR for years has said you can disclose this information, but it finally got into a contract. So here's the deal. Who do you represent? The seller. What are you trying to do? Get the highest price, least amount of problems, least amount of concessions. You want to put them in a position to win. And so that's the reason that's there. If not, if they go, I can't tell you what that is. We've got a $150,000 offer and it's got these concessions on it, but your buyer, is willing to make the $150,000 offer, waive the appraisal, waive the inspections, waive the concessions. That's a better contract for your buyer.
That's right. Or for your seller.
Seller, I'm sorry. So especially if you have the box checked with the proof of funds.
I have a question. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can, Paulina.
Was Guy saying that even though on the employment agreement, the seller checks that, yes, he is allowing you to disclose if there are any offers and the terms of the offer, you as the listing agent, is it correct that you still have the right to choose whether you do disclose it or not?
That's right. Yes, you absolutely have the choice.
No, you do not.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, is that
Not as a listing agent, you don't. If the seller directs you to,
Good point.
that's what the boxes are checked. If they're checked, he said, I am directing you to, if you are asked to disclose that information. You can't withhold it voluntarily. You are not a party to the contract.
right? Okay.
Yeah. So when it's like Jim said, it's completely up to the seller whether or not you can divulge what comes into any other agency of that kind. So yes, absolutely. So when you have a agent asking you, hey, can you tell me what the other offers are? If your seller has said so, then yes, you can. But if they has said no, then you don't, obviously. So
Gotcha. Okay, that makes
one
sense.
thing Jim said that's a great question to ask. If they can't disclose things, you just say, my buyer's going to write an offer for $150,000, no concessions, no appraisal. Are we going to be in the ballpark? And sometimes they'll answer, or their hesitation can tell you. So even if they don't answer or can't answer, you can still ask questions.
well, and I changed what he said a little bit when I ask. I'm very purposeful about it. I just say, Mike, would we win if we wrote this? Right? And then he can say yes or no, or he can say you're close.
You can go, yeah.
Or I go,
I'm
okay,
not supposed to
so
say that.
Mike, I've got to do everything I can to get this house for my buyers. This is in their price range. If we wrote 5,000 more, would we win?
I can't tell you that. My seller won't let me. He wants you to just bring your highest and best.
Sure. Are we competitive?
Yes, sorta.
Okay. Do you see how I asked in a different way? But but it made
Check the
him
box.
rethink the way he said it, and you might be
Yeah.
able to get more information. Sure, if his seller, like he said, isn't going to give me all the information, I want to get as much information as possible so that we can help our buyer get their chance truly.
So here's what I'd say. Come to the 1 o'clock class. We can dig into this more.
Yep.
Because there's a lot with the changes.
Because we are going to be over a little bit of time.
That's
so
okay.
bear with us. Stay on with us. And we've got last week's culture winner was Nicole, our very own Nicole.
Hey.
And she got Zach Riggs. She is the one who mentioned that Zach Riggs is the culture winner for this week.
Zach, Nicole, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect.
So why'd you choose Zach, and why does Speedy get to go on adventures in scary houses this week?
Oh boy, yeah, that's very true. So I picked Zach because he's always sharing his knowledge with not only KW agents, but agents outside of KW. He's always wanting to help others and see them succeed. And, you know, I saw the Facebook post from Nadri the other day, and I just thought that he was perfect for this week because of her post that she had posted about her buyer and him accepting their offer when they threw everything they possibly could at it, and he could have probably gotten more, but he chose theirs. So congratulations, Zach.
Yay, Zach.
Yay, that's so cool.
He chooses to pour into people.
He does.
And if you don't know what profit share is, check his post today about profit share. That will motivate you to help grow the company.
How often is it, Mike, that we see an agent, let's say, that finds a niche, gets really successful, and holds on to that and doesn't want to share?
In a lot of places, we see it a lot.
A lot.
Here we don't.
Nope. And that is one thing that's so cool, and that is absolutely a cultural spotlight.
Well, like the class that Zach and Amy and is it Josh with that too?
Yes.
I mean, we didn't ask them to do a class. They said, we want to share our knowledge with you.
Yes,
and that's what I love about being here is how everybody just wants to share.
Awesome. So we are looking at the market right now. We
Okay.
are super excited. Mike's going to take us through portions
Real
of this right now.
quick on it. SOMO-wise, this was a huge jump. 542. I think we've been running about 460 listings per week. And notice, usually this has been identical. And I mean, no, I'm out of screen. 542, usually it's been about the same number going pending. But we're still short on houses because there are so many buyers. But if this keeps up, at some point in 13, 17, 24 months, we'll catch up. So, but the 542, that's a huge jump. I did look back this time 2 years ago, we had about 1,700 to 1,800 houses on the market. So, and this is how many were new last week. We're still running low. You'll see in about three screens.
I mean, last week, wasn't it like 300 or something? It was 340 or maybe, I
on new ones, I'd have to look
it
back.
was crazy low.
But
So-
also in our outside areas, north and east,
yes, here, I'll flip over.
you'll see those two.
There we go.
Same type things. The listings are starting to slowly outnumber contracts.
Yes.
It's going to take a long time to get caught up, but the trend is there at spring market too, except for the snow today.
And
But,
remember, you can post these. Don't forget to use this information.
yeah,
It's
steal
very,
this, make it your
very
own when
valuable.
you're talking with people. Here's the fun number though.
Oh, this is exciting. Here we go.
Last week we had
504.
504 houses on the market as of Monday morning.
This week, 508.
We're growing. We got 508.
4 more, baby.
Here we
Woo!
go. So, yeah, and that's the number. The 2 years ago was 1,700. 2015, it was 3,200. I checked the stats yesterday on that.
And so there's a listing shortage. 80% of homeowners don't know what their home is worth.
So we got 4 things we're going to hit here for you.
Yep.
Changes to your login on Flex.
That's going to be
KW
interesting.
SGF Awards Night and Red Day. So listing shortage. This was on our call yesterday. 80% of people across the country don't know what their house is worth. And they would probably sell if they knew that. So this is a great conversation thing, whether you're talking to old clients, or if you're a brand new person just trying to experiment and get out and meet with people.
Well, and Mike and I were going through the slides right before we went live and before everybody was down here. And we were talking about it being from California and having commuted to San Francisco for years. And that is one of the worst commutes in the world, literally. It's just insane. And my wife and I would be sitting there together sometimes or doing whatever. And we were sitting in traffic, just like, and we would like scream in the car practically. Let's just all take our foot off the brake and move forward. Like if we all just cumulatively took our foot off the brake, we'd all have houses to sell.
But everybody's waiting on the person in front of them.
That's right. That's right. And so if we as an office, as one of the powerhouses of this area, like literally dominating in a lot of ways, if all of 400 plus of our agents literally took our foot off the brake and had these conversations with our sellers, we would create a massive amount of inventory, which would give us how much leverage in the market? A ton. So
there's three things I'd say is you're visiting with sellers, or if you're a brand new agent, call somebody and say, hey, I'm new. I need to practice. Can I use your house for this? Go ahead and do a CMA for them. They don't realize what their house would sell for, and do a net statement. And there's one online through either Transaction Desk or DocuSign where it will show you how much they're going to net.
At NetSheet, we should probably do a class on that.
Yeah.
NetSheet is such a great tool. I've used it pretty much every time.
It's a 2-minute form to fill out, but you got to know their loan amount.
Yeah.
And tell them, because everybody says, well, I got to fix up this or that. No, you don't. List it. It's going to sell. They're probably won't even going to ask for inspections.
Well, if you've never used one of these tools before, or one of these systems to make this net sheet, or for example, if you just posted, literally, if you just said, hey, anybody interested to know what their house is worth right now in this current market? I'm doing CMAs right now on a new program. I would love to give you one for free. You will get at least 3 to 5 people respond.
Yeah. So if you're new, if you've been doing this forever, you have this conversation, because it was staggering to me that 80% of people don't realize what their house is worth.
Yeah. And if you're brand new, grab your coach, grab your mentor, grab somebody to go with you on that presentation of what that CMA looks like for them.
That may be the first script. Hey, I was just calling you because I realized 80% of people don't know what their house is worth. Do you know what yours is worth?
What? That's a brilliant thing to say. How about that?
Jim.
Yes, if you're new, have your CMA checked by a veteran. Very, very good point.
And don't go price per square foot. Oh, I hate that.
Price per square
There's more things that matter. An 8-ounce prime rib ain't the same as an 8-ounce hot dog. Oh, well,
that's a very good point. Okay, so changes to your login and Flex. We'll go fast on this. We be ready, because this doesn't happen until May 17th.
Okay, so right now to get into Flex, you go to the Clarity website, although you're typing in somo.flex, and you log in once, actually 7 times, because it misses 1 digit usually. And then when you do, go ahead and show the next thing. It logs you into all these things. Well, there are enough people that did not like this that the Clarity part is going away.
Yes.
So you're going to have to log into Flex. And then it will actually link to several of these others, but you need to know by May 17th what your passwords are to each of these different things, because you're not going to have the single sign-in thing after May 17th.
This is a great heads up. Remember your passwords. Get ready to be able to log in. And a lot of other brokerages aren't talking about this. That when you guys get the heads up, you're going to be able to not have that. All of a sudden, you're sitting with a client, you're trying to log in, and you're like, oh, that's going to really be a bummer if you do that.
On Facebook, on May 18th, when everybody else is saying, I can't get in, you'll be laughing because you're like, well, I've known.
Hold on, Jim's got a question here.
Can your login be the same?
I think so. I think it is right now, but I think it can be the same. What I would use your social number. That's a really good password.
Do not do that. Shame on you.
Or the word
Don't
password.
even put that in people's heads.
Yeah, everybody can use my social number.
Yes, Mike's. Everybody use Mike's social. I like that.
555-555-555.
KW SGF Awards Night, obviously 23rd, out in the parking
Friday.
lot. But wait, it could rain.
No, it ain't gonna rain.
It ain't gonna rain, Mike says.
Okay.
But if it does,
as of right now, it's looking like it's gonna rain. We have a plan B we're working on.
Yes.
So Friday, plan on it. But Rachel, do they still need to register, or are we past that?
Yes.
Yeah, so we can still go ahead and register. However, we know who is registered and if they'll get a drink ticket or not. The biggest thing about this is a casual event. So we will have 120 seats available at tables. So bring your own chairs. We'll even have the back row of parking spots available, so you can back your vehicle in and tailgate out of that. We will have 2 bars there. So you can bring your own alcohol if you want, or all the money raised from the bars will go to Red Day, and it's going to be hot dogs, hamburgers, mac and cheese, and some other sides as well. So make sure you get registered so we know for food count. And as soon as we have our plan moving forward, depending on weather, we will announce that to everybody. However, we will have the awards banquet still, regardless of weather.
And if I may, Rachel, is it correct we'd have everybody park on the north side with like the legal land title side, and then we'll have everybody go on to the south side with the Mid-Missouri Bank side?
Correct. So parking is back on the north side of the building, and we're going to talk to Mid-Missouri Bank about opening up their lots as well. We timed this so they should be closed on their operations, so it shouldn't be conflicting with that. And we will have a lot of the parking spot spaces on the south side of the lot blocked off that morning. So just be prepared when you commute to work that morning that you'll have to park somewhere else.
And everybody that can pray that it doesn't rain, because it'd be a lot more fun to do it that way. But we are working on some alternative plans. So either way, we're going to get the awards out. We're going to get everything going. And the tables that are out there are not going to be reserved. So please don't call Rachel or Nicole or Landon or Lindsay and say, hey, save me 5 tables. It's at 5:30. They're just first come, first served out there. But you don't need a table. It's like it's like going to the Aurora Drive-In. Pull in backwards, get your lawn chair out, whatever beverages you choose, and we'll have fun.
Really, April's focus is recognizing agents, giving awards, and giving back. How about
Correct.
that? So we got Connecting Grounds as of 4/16. We're at $4,100. So everybody give a round of applause to everybody who's been giving.
Yay!
So cool.
And we're actually higher than that now.
Yes, we are.
But I think it's now about 4,600.
Yes.
But our goal is $15,000.
That's right. So May 13th, save the date. You've heard it 1,000 times already, but make sure. I think we're going to skip this
We'll
for now.
skip it since.
And let's
Okay,
see.
so
A couple of things about Red Day. The 22nd is the last day to order your shirts. So if you haven't been on a Red Day before, we have t-shirts that we're raising money for, also the Connecting Grounds. So make sure you get that ordered, because you'll be the only one there without a red shirt. So we'll order those through Greek Corner, and you'll pay directly through that. I've also included the volunteer sign-up link. We are needing more volunteers, especially for the afternoon. However, the Connecting Grounds is still adding more open spots of where we can add more volunteers.
Wonderful.
So don't worry that we'll have too many. There'll always be more. And then, yeah, Mike is going to show the picture of that, but I've also included the Amazon registry link. So if you don't want to donate money, you can go straight to Amazon using the registry link, and all of the items that you purchase are items that they're needing, and it'll ship directly to the market center, and we'll take them over to the Connecting Grounds.
Yeah.
So Rachel, as of today, how many agents do we have on our roll here at Keller Williams?
At our roster,
Yeah.
365.
And we have
Licensed
30.
agents, not including unlicensed admin.
And we have 34 people signed up for Red Day so far. That's less than 10%. What's your L word?
What?
Lame.
Oh.
No, not that one.
Do people out here not say that?
Lame. So we got to get people on this. We want to have a big splash. So go ahead and register. Is that an event link that they sign up on?
It's a Google form, and I've put it in the chat for Zoom. However, it is on the Facebook page, and if anybody has trouble finding it, then they can reach out and we can send it over to them. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on for this is, if you want to donate, you can write a check directly to the Connecting Grounds and bring it to myself, and I'll send it over, and then we can get your name signed on one of these awesome bubbles. And we will actually have members of the Connecting Grounds, the people that run the ministry, and some of the attendees at our awards banquet, and they'll be able to talk more about their mission and their heart behind the Connecting Grounds, and we'll also be able to take donations there. If you haven't been with KW long, 2 years ago when we did Eden's Village, the tiny home community, we raised $10,000 that night at our awards banquet. So we're hoping through that night at our awards banquet this Friday, we're able to bless the Connecting Grounds farther than they could have ever imagined, and so that will be a way that night to give back.
And for donations that night, we can take cards, correct?
So you can do IOUs. So we'll have papers for IOUs, and we can run your card on file whenever we get them all filled out. So cash, check, or IOU, and I'll run your card.
So Friday night is going to be awards and giving back to the community, and the big kickoff for Red Day for the year. Here's the washer up there. Is now, it's hard to see on the screen here, but it's colored red up to 4,100. We want to get on up higher on this by the end of Friday night. So let's get crazy. Let's get people going. Let's challenge each other.
Look at how good giving back looks like.
Red Day.
Yeah.
It's not just a day. It's a way of life.
So wait, do we have Tech Tuesday right after this?
Live and in person.
Mr. Dancer Kel is here on campus. I love it. And we have, quote, nobody can help everyone, but everyone can help someone.
So let's do that. Let's get in on Red Day. Let's do this, and let's see everybody Friday night.
Woohoo! Thank you, everybody.
Coming.
We need music, Rachel.